Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I'm the Mike in Travel Mike. Hey, I really want to thank everyone for stopping by the YouTube channel, of course, here. Also for following me on Instagram, following me on Facebook. The support is really great. I've really enjoyed working with those of you who have become new clients of mine, which is very exciting. I really am just here to help you guys say yes to the world. The more that we travel, the more that we meet each other, the more that we experience other cultures, the world becomes a better place and we become better people. So definitely reach out if you have any questions about any of your travel plans or just, I'm here to help. And I just really just love being a travel advisor. And again, I love working with my clients and helping them say yes to the world. Today we're gonna do some nuts and bolts of travel. I'm not gonna go into anything. There's nothing exotic, but I do want to talk nuts and bolts because part of being a travel advisor is really helping you with the nuts and bolts of your trips. And so today what I want to talk about is packing. And so I just want to give you like a kind of a quick overview here, some tips, some tricks, some things that I advise, some things that I use personally to help you have a better travel experience, and to maybe take a little bit of the anxiety and things out of travel. If you're, just making it easier for you, that's what we're here for. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I am going to go over here and you guys will have to bear with me. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about the first of all the biggest hack that there could possibly ever be. This is, I think, just absolutely one of the like best fantastic things ever. So, one of the what we're looking at here is these are packing cubes, and one of the things that I love about packing cubes is that they're game changers. Really, I mean, they keep you organized first of all, and they can in a way really help you organize and be really conscious of what you're packing. Do you need this? Does it go with this? I personally, when we do these, I use one for my like my shirts and tops, and then one for pants, or shorts, bottoms, things like that. I keep a separate one that I have like my socks and underwear in. My wife and I typically have one that we put like swim gear and things like that. And what's really nice about these is that, as you can see on the screen here, they come in a lot of different styles and varieties, right? So you can get the ones that compress, you can get the ones that have like a harder side to them if that's something that you like. And so it really it gives you some versatility. I really prefer the ones that compress because they really do help you kind of have to choose what to travel a little bit. Not as tightly because you can fit quite a few more items in when you use the compression ones. We'll talk about this a little bit later. It does make you have to think a little bit more consciously about weight. But I really packing cubes. If you don't have one, if you don't have a set, we're fortunate. We travel a lot, so we've been given a couple of sets as gifts, and we had a set of our own. So I think we're up to like 3 or 4 sets of these now. And we honestly, I will tell you, we use them all. We definitely use our sets that have the compression much more because they're game changers. They help you pack so much. All right, let's go into our next big tip, which is it's commonly called the roll and fold, and or the fold and roll, which is it really is a great space saving idea, especially if you're not maybe traveling for business, or if you've got some clothes that are more in like the knit style, or if you're going someplace tropical where you're doing a lot of shorts. This is a really great technique for that. Really, what you're doing is you're folding your clothes like you normally would, and then you're just going to do them in a really nice tight roll. You're going to look on here, rolling them really tight is actually important. And I know this sounds strange, but that tightness of the roll, it actually keeps them from getting wrinkled, and so you can keep them in. So when you're packing, as you can see here, you pack them nice and tightly, get that nice tight roll together. Now, if you want to go to like super advanced, level, the best way to do this is going to be to combine the two. All right, do the fold and roll, and then in your fold and roll, go ahead and add in the packing cube. You're going to get the most out of your packing space. by doing that. So this is exactly what I do. I take my shirts, I fold them up really nice. Even my dress shirts, I will, if they don't have too stiff of a collar that I have to worry about, I'll roll those. There is a really cool, if you guys watch, if you want to look up a video, I'm not gonna, I may put it down at the bottom here, but it's there's a really great video on how to really compactly fold a shirt that has a stiff collar. But if it doesn't have a stiff collar or something like that, I always definitely, especially with pants, shorts, underwear, t-shirts, fold them, roll them, and then go into the compression cube, and you just get so much more in your packing if you do it that way. It takes a little bit of time, but you'll be so happy when you arrive at your destination and you've got a lot more variety as far as the outfits and things that you can pick from. So this is definitely a way to go. Fold and roll, put the compression cubes or the packing cubes together, and it's just a great way to go. All right, so our next thing that we will talk about is your actual travel outfit. This is a great hack, and one of the things that I love about traveling, especially at airports, is seeing people who have mastered the travel outfit, right? There's a couple of like rules of thumb, right? You want to make sure, if you've got jackets, especially if I know for a lot of us men who travel for business, and especially women who travel for business, we like we do sport coats and blazers a lot now. Wearing your sport coat or your blazer, or one of the sport coats or blazers that you plan to use on that business trip with you is great. Or even if you're traveling for leisure, maybe if you've got a dinner that you're planning to attend, wear the coat that you're planning. There's great ways to fold coats as well. But those bigger, bulkier items, they take up a lot of space. If you look at the average dinner jacket or blazer that you got, you can get like three regular size shirts or two pairs of pants out of a blazer. So wearing it's a really great idea. There's some great examples here that you can see on here. Definitely want to wear layers. And you can put things together that kind of look funky and cool and cute, right? There's nothing wrong with putting a hoodie with a blazer, for different outfits, layer it up. If you plan on wearing something twice, or you can definitely do that. It's okay to hide a couple of outfits on your body for when you're traveling. So again, with that, if you're bringing a jacket, you've got boots, if you're going to be doing chunky layers, wear them on the plane. It just frees up so much space in your bag. Definitely go that route. All right. Then here's my big one. We've all been to TSA. We all know how that there are liquid requirements for your toiletries, right? We have for years and years and years and years. A lot of us started off with the Ziploc baggie in your luggage. That is not uncommon, and it's not wrong, but it is 2026, and they have some really amazing options for toiletry bags. And if you do not have a toiletry bag yet, or you haven't given it to your favorite travel person, grab one. There's a lot of different varieties for these. They make them so that you can hang them. My wife has one that it folds out 3 different times, very similar to the one you see here on the left. It folds out a couple of times, and you can hang it, right? So you've got all of your toiletries, and then they're organized for you when you get to your hotel, or you get to your resort, or you get to your ship. You don't even have to take them all out. You don't have to do a whole, I'm going to put these out on the sink. You literally can just hang them up on the back of the door, right? And you just have all of your items there. That way, even you're not, it makes it a lot less likely that you're going to lose anything. A lot of these have really great pockets for you, so that you can put jewelry in them, or different things. And what's really nice is that all of these are really small and self-contained, so you can keep your soaps and your perfumes and your jewelry and everything separate and have it still all in one centralized thing. I very much recommend for travel, unless you are just, you have brands that you are 100% like, I need this brand. Look, if you're going to be packing something that is over the size limit, you have to check it. This gives you an awesome option for that as well, because you can just take those oversized items, put them in your toiletries case, put your toiletries case in your checked luggage, and then you don't have to worry about it. If you're not brand specific, where you need then and you have to take a specific brand, Walmart, Walgreens, Target, all of them have a travel size toiletries section. If you go, sometimes it's in its own little separate travel area. Even and if you really want to, most of the Dollar Trees or Dollar Generals also have tons of travel things. So if you're not like super super tied to a brand, and you want to save some money, and definitely do that. It's worth going to one of those stores, get the small travel size things, and then absolutely 100% go with one of these toiletry cases. They are amazing. I can't say enough about them. All right, so this one I'm gonna go into. I love these, and I really really recommend you guys. This is so. They make these cases for your electronics, and these are cord. They've got cord keepers and things like this. One of the things that's nice is if you've got different devices, you got digital cameras, things like that. These are great for using. I will tell you right now, we own them. This is not a product push, but because so I'm not going to bother telling you like who these are by. But this is mine, right? And I love it because they've got an outside bag, an outside pouch on it. What I do is when I'm traveling is I tend to take this entire thing. This is kind of what I go through TSA with. So when I go through TSA, and this is what I love about having these. When I go through TSA, my cell phone's inside of here already. All of my cords, all of my chargers, I stick my passport in either this inside pouch so that I can easily access it for the agents. And then when I'm done easily accessing it for the agents, there's another kind of deep inside hidden pocket in here. I will let you know. Mine's by BagSmart. They make tons of them. Everybody's got one. This one in particular is BagSmart. We have two. My wife loves them. I don't know. I mean, they're a game changer. Really, again, your phone's in here. All your cords are in here, so you don't have to remember anything. Your passport's in here. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I can't say enough about toiletry bags and electronics bags. If those three, I will say this. If you combine these three things, if you combine packing cubes with a toiletry case and with an electronics case, it will change the way you pack and the way that you travel. It's going to make things so much easier. It's going to keep you so much more organized. It's going to make it easier to stay organized. All right, so that I very, 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 very much recommend. The other thing that I want to go into before we get too far is, so we've got all this, and I wanted to touch back on this because, like I said, we've got this whole, the packing cube. The one thing that the packing cubes do is they allow you to take a lot more stuff and fit it into a smaller space. So you can, especially with, checked baggage, accidentally get overweight or things like that. I got given this as a gift when I first started doing a lot of traveling. So this was not my idea, but so I want to tell you, but it has made my travel life so amazing. So I'm just going to show you guys. You can get one of these. Again, there's no link. I'm not putting links down. I'll tell you who it's by. Mine is by, there you go. It's a Tech City. These luggage weights, they take every stress away from checked luggage. I pack my luggage, and this is the part that I love about these. You know your weight limit. Whether you're on a 50 pound or a 40 pound or whatever airline you happen to be on. You set your weight and you just kind of hook this on your luggage and you lift it up, right? And on the front here it tells you how much you're weighing, right? I'm just pulling it really hard to see how much. But what's great with this is if I'm a pound over, I know I'm a pound over. But this is what happens more often than not. What happens more often than not is that I pack my bag and then I weigh it and I'm like, I still have another 5 pounds. Now that's a great thing. So I don't know how much they cost. I'm pretty sure that like a really good one you can get for like around $40. But the thing is that like it's $40 and you're never going to have to think about how much your luggage weighs again. And I'm telling you right now, you end up more often than not having more room for things to pack than you thought. So definitely a worthwhile investment on that. All right. So again, I'm just going to tell you those three things: packing cubes, toiletry case, and electronics case. All three of those things are game changers. The other thing that I would mention is there is one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind when you're packing. Um, if you're going on a plane, obviously we all know the rules of traveling on a plane, right? But if you guys happen to be going internationally, I do want you to remember something. If you are traveling internationally and perhaps you have a flight between different countries, so let's say you go from New York into Paris, and then at some point in time you're going to be flying from Paris to Prague or something to that effect, right? Weight limits are a little bit less in Europe, so I want you, if you have a connection that is going to be an international to international connection, make sure you check the weight limit on your flight, on that internal flight, that international flight, just to make sure that you are within compliance on those weight limits as well, because that can be kind of a weird surprise. Now, if you have a travel advisor, we will advise you and remind you of that. So again, if you have any questions, do reach out. My contact information is down in the description, as well as my contact information is in the description for the video. And of course, here you can use either of these QR codes to follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. I am Travel Mike with KD Travel Group. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful holiday season, and we will see you all soon. Take care.